Guys, I come bearing great news. As you can see, Beserk is number 2 trending right now on Twitter. Right below fucking Apple. Because you know Apple and shit like that. But Beserk is number 2 trending. Why is Beserk trending? So we have this message in Japanese, right? From the Beserk project, alright? Unfortunately, I cannot read this, alright? I cannot read this. But luckily, they translated it for us. And it says, to our readers. Damn, they should have gave us the same fucking pictures. Hold up, let's just appreciate this real quick. He got Guts swinging his giant-ass sword, Dragon Slayer. And then we got the brand. And then he got Casca. Alright, so let's go down. And here's what it says in English. We have read as many of your comments as possible for the Die Beserk 10, or the Great Beserk Exhibition, the Young Animal Memorial Issue, Young Animal 2021 number 18, and Beserk Volume 41. We are extremely grateful for each and every one of your words and for your messages sent to us through social media. We are truly touched by the love you all have for Beserk and the influence it has had on your lives. It is truly sad that Kentaro Miura himself is not here to read your comments with us. Before his passing, Kentaro Miura spoke to his close friends Kaoji Mori about the stories and episodes he had in mind for Beserk. He also had similar talks with his studio staff and editor. He wondered, would everyone be surprised if I drew something like this? How about a character like this? Would this storyline be interesting? The talks were not meant as his last words, but were a part of his ordinary days as a manga artist. Such ordinary days continued for more than a quarter of a century. Our minds and hearts are filled with the thoughts of Mr. Miura. Our hearts and minds are still filled with the thoughts Mr. Miura shared with us during that time. We have also found memos of ideas he wrote and designs for characters that he drew and left behind. We were reluctant to end the story without sharing these with his fans. Our hope is for everyone to read the last episode that we have put together, until the very last frame. Upon resuming the series, our production team decided on a basic policy. Mr. Miura said so. This is what the production team kept in mind. Since he did not leave behind rough drafts, it is impossible for us to create a manuscript exactly in the way he would have intended. However, we will write the manga so as not to deviate from Mr. Miura's own words. We would like to take the Kentaro Miura that we knew so fondly through our conversations to work and convey this in all of you in a sincere manner. We believe that this policy, although imperfect, is the best way to deliver the Beserk that Mr. Miura envisioned to everyone as faithfully as possible. From this next issue, we will first publish 6 chapters until the end of the Fantasia arc, Elf Island chapter. After this, we will start a new arc. Credits after the resumption will be original work by Kentaro Miura, manga by Studio Gaga, supervised by Kaoji Mori, and the numbering of the manga books will continue in order. Looking back, the first volume of Beserk was published in 1990, with 28,000 copies released for the first edition. It was not an immediate hit, and only a small group of people knew about it. Still, it drew avid fans and was able to hold their interest because people could feel Mr. Miura's desire to refine his craft. After a while, Beserk became a huge hit through Mr. Miura's extraordinary efforts and some good luck. Today, the first volume has been read by 2 million people around the world. We believe that Beserk has touched the hearts of many fans, and Mr. Miura would be happy to know that his thoughts have had a great influence on people's lives and work. We hope that everyone will continue to have the same connection with Beserk in the chapters to come. Thank you to all of the fans who sent us messages. We are also grateful to many fans who quietly supported the manga through their thoughts. Every one of you will be the source of our energy as we move forward. We are truly grateful to you all. June 2020, Young Animal Editing Department. Nearly 30 years ago, Miura called me and said, I need to talk to you about drawing a rough draft. I went to his workplace just to talk as we always do, but Miura looked more serious than usual. I need to draw the eclipse, he said. I sensed it would be hard work, but couldn't believe it when I was trapped indoors for a week. In that very moment, the storyline for Beserk was completed, until the very last chapter. Strangely, the story for Beserk went on exactly as we discussed at the time, with almost no changes. I continued to talk to Miura often whenever there was a big episode. We did so ever since we were students, consulting each other while working on manga. I think people with good intuition would realize by now that I know the story for Berserk up to the very end. Still, I cannot say that I can draw it because I know it. That is because only the genius Kentaro Miura can write a masterpiece like Berserk. However, a great responsibility has fallen on me. While he was alive, Miura said, "I haven't told anyone other than you, Mori, about the story in its entirety." And that was the truth. It is too big a responsibility. I thought, should I talk to fans about it through an interview? Or should I publish an article with some illustrations? But that wouldn't convey the scenes that Miura described to me on the lines of Guts and Griffith. Just when I was trying to decide what to do, I received a message. The staff are saying they will finish the last chapter that was left behind. So can you take a look? The last few pages of the chapter were incomplete. Some did not even have the characters drawn on them. I took a look at the manuscript without expecting much. Desperation can push people to create miracles. There it was, the completed manuscript for Berserk. Mr. Mori, will you let us do it? Miura's apprentices, who Miura had been so proud of while he was alive, asked me straight. Company director Shimada, a mentor for me, and Miura also said, "If you do it, the company will give our full support." I thought if I run away now, Miura would say, "I talked to you about it so much, but you didn't do it." Alright, I'll do it properly. I have a message and a promise to everyone. I will recall the details as much as possible and tell the story. Also, I will only write the episodes that Miura talked to me about. I will not flesh it out. I will not write episodes that I don't remember clearly. I will only write the lines and stories that Miura described to me. Of course, it will not be perfect. Still, I think I can almost tell the story that Miura wanted to tell. The talent Miura's apprentices have are real. They are brilliant artists. Many of you may not be fully satisfied with the Berserk written without Miura, but we hope everyone's thoughts will be with us. We ask for your continued support. June 2022, Kaoji Mori. Berserk will be coming back soon. I suspected something like this was possible, but I didn't think it was really going to happen. Luckily, Kentaro Miura did speak to his friend, Kaoji Mori about Berserk. What I found interesting is one of the statements he said. He said whenever he spoke to him about Berserk, right, when it was printed in the manga, it wasn't that different from when Miura told him about it. So maybe the same could be said for these last sets of scripts that they have found. They're not rough drafts, so they're not like any like specific like story order of events. Well, I don't believe it anyway, but they did find character art for future characters to have yet to appear in the manga. Not only that, but as he said before, Kentaro Miura spoke to him directly about what he wanted for the story from beginning to end. So I think it's safe to say Berserk is going to be in good hands. Is it going to be perfect? No. But this is the next best thing we have, and I think Miura wanted this as well. When an artist passes away before their work is finished, I don't care what the circumstances are, I sort of consider it a tragedy. Their life's work, their vision, died along with them. But in this case, it seems some of that has been preserved, and now we get to see it. This is great. We got lucky with this one. Again, rest in peace to Miura. He can watch from above as his work is finally completed by his successors and his best friend. Dicks out for Berserk.